Actually, let's go to our second point and let's consider Joseph. Joseph is an opportunity to remember God's loving leadership. Let's look at verses 19 and 20. Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for Joseph had made the sons of Israel solemnly swear, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry my bones with you from here. And they moved on from Succoth and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. Now we need to go back and remember Joseph. Remember, he's the youngest brother. He's the one that had the dreams, and I think he probably was a little arrogant. He used to boast of, yeah, you guys are going to bow down to me. Your stars are going to bow down to me, the sun. His brothers kind of got sick of him, took off his fancy coat, threw him in a pit, tried to figure out what to do with him, sold him into Egypt as a slave. Now we're on the backside of that. God used their evil. God used the brothers' evil against Joseph to take him into Egypt so that would then provide a dwelling place for Israel to protect them during the famine. And now we're on the other end after Egypt abused them and enslaved them, that God stretched out his mighty right hand and is delivering them. But even in Egypt, he was accused wrongly. He was treated poorly. He was forgotten. But yet God continued to be with him. God continued to be faithful. And Joseph learned that God is trustworthy. Joseph learned that God is mighty and able to do all that he wills to do. And so in chapter 50 of Genesis, verse 24, Joseph says, I am about to die, but God will surely take care of you and surely bring you up from this land to the land which he promised on oath to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Then Joseph made the sons of Israel swear, saying, God will surely take care of you, and you shall carry my bones up from here. So Joseph died at the age of 110 years, and he was embalmed and placed in a coffin in Egypt. Joseph had learned to trust God. Through many years, through many trials, through much refining, through much temptation, God proved himself to be with Joseph. And here we see a great declaration of faith. Don't bury me here. God said, hey, I'm going to take you to a new land. That's where I want my bones. That's where I want to be buried. Not that that's going to bring him into the promised land, but the symbol. No, this isn't my dwelling place. Egypt is not my home. Even though I ruled this nation, this is not my home. I am one of God's children. I want my final resting place to be in the tomb with Abraham and God's promised people. The author of Hebrews points back to this. By faith, Joseph, when he was dying, made mention of the exodus of the sons of Israel and gave orders concerning his bones. By faith, he was already looking forward. By faith, he knew they were going to go through trials. By faith, Israel's in Egypt, not only being protected now, but being secured within. He knew God would deliver them. He had seen God work, and he trusted God to work. The bones being taken out is a symbol of God's faithfulness to his promise. We have to learn that God is in control. We may not see how he is working things out, but we must know that he is in everything. He is sovereign. He's able to even use evil for good. If you have a difficult time looking back to Joseph, what does look to Christ? If you have a difficult time trying to understand where is God and what is he doing, how can he be working this out for good, remember this: the Father led his own Son to die for our sins. The Father led his Son to die for us. The Father led him as the Lamb who would be slain for our forgiveness. That God is able to lead us for our good. If he has not withheld his own Son, what would he possibly hold back for us? If he leads us in a way that he forgives us for the death of his own Son, how could we question that his leading is not present and that it is not good?